All right, welcome everybody to today, Video Guys, Newsday Tuesday. Today's webinar, the state of NDI technology. NDI technology was something introduced by NewTek a little over a year ago, and it has exploded. NDI adoption is everywhere. I think even the folks at NewTek, even Dr. Cross himself was a little blown away by just how far we've come in just a short year of these technologies being available. You know, NDI technology, a lot of people think it's about the TriCasters, and it really is. The TriCasters are NDI switchers now. In fact, the new TriCaster TC1 is NDI optimized. We have the TriCaster Minis, which start at, $59.95 with advanced editions. Put advanced edition on them, and you're going to have complete NDI compatibility as well. So everyone thinks, NewTek created NDI. It's a cool technology, but NDI has gotten much broader acceptance. Any source into any setup with NDI. So when you talk about the world of NDI, you're not just talking about TriCasters. You're talking about OBS. You're talking about VidBlaster, vMix, Wirecast, StreamStar, Livestream Studio, XSplit. All these products now support NDI for your NDI switching and mixing. That's truly incredible because NDI is a technology that is revolutionizing live production and streaming. I want to play this little video that Dr. Cross, a little clip from Dr. Cross, who is the inventor, the godfather of NDI, so to speak. So let's play that video for a little bit about what he had to say about NDI when it got introduced a year ago.
Now these inputs, they can be anything. They could be another TriCaster that's sitting beside you. So now its inputs will be available to you to use. Your inputs will be available for it to use. A graphics system that's sitting on the network will be available for you to use. A network scan converter, we have this application that you can run on a laptop, which takes its screen and presents it as a source on the network. A replay system like 3Play, if that is available on the network, you will be able to use it. TalkShow, our product that offers Skype integration, you have those on the network and you can bring callers into your show and you have access to all of these sources. You have to now be thinking.
All right, we're back. And as you can see, NDI, it is revolutionizing the industry. Once again, to stress, NDI is a connectivity tool, but it's a two-way tool. So not only does it replace HDMI and SDI wires in the studio, but it gives you two-way communication. So through NDI, you can send tally information. You can control a PTZ camera. You can also control other external devices and external computers and things like that. And if you have multiple TriCasters, they can talk to each other, or multiple NDI switches can talk to each other. So that's super exciting. But what's really exciting is all the NDI products that have come out over the past year. And all these products well, they're almost all shipping. So I don't want to say they're all shipping, but they've all started recently shipping over the last few months, and people are using them and they're getting fantastic results. And the thing I want to stress most of all is these NDI products work with TriCasters, but they also work great with vMix, with Wirecast, any of the streaming products we went into earlier, the streaming switching solutions. So let's go into some of these categories. The first category I want to go into is the NDI converters. The first converters that shipped were the Connect Sparks from NewTek. Now the HDMI Connect Spark, the one I'm holding here, this allows you to take any HDMI camera, and for under $500, you can actually go via your Gig-E network, or as you can see the antenna, Wi-Fi through NDI into your production. We go Wi-Fi into our production from our Sony camcorder. And this is the SDI model that is also a very popular. The Bird Dog product is going to be $8.95. Bird Dog gives you zero latency. It's HDMI and SDI. Unfortunately, it's not shipping yet. We're really hopeful that it ships before the end of the year. And between you and I, their top 10 products of 2017 bid is pretty much hanging on them being able to ship it or not. But we're going to assume they're going to get it shipping real soon. We actually hope to have units in a week or so. But the Sparks and the Bird Dog are converters, camera-based converters that let you turn your camera into an NDI device. But we've also got NDI cameras. Now the NDI cameras you have right now are PTZ cameras. So NewTek is shipping one themselves. This is an NDI camera, complete NDI camera that we use on some of our shows. We really love it, and it goes directly connects, and you get the PTZ control directly from your TriCaster remotely. The folks at PTZ Optics, we love them. They'll be in the booth. We'll have PTZ Optics in the studio next week. They are offering right now, if you have any of their Gen 2 PTZ Optics cameras, you can add NDI for $300. That's really cool because it actually lets you get into right now an NDI PTZ camera for a lower price. The NDI is strictly a firmware upgrade, so they will have a line of cameras that come with the NDI in them to begin with. They're going to be a little bit more expensive, but right now you can double dip, which means you can get a PTZ camera and NDI for under $2,000. That's pretty incredible. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about is Panasonic has a line of NDI PTZ cameras that are coming out. We hope to carry those in the future with you too, although nothing's set in stone. Panasonic's a big company. It takes time to get approved to sell their products, but they also will have a PTZ camera controller and mixer, all via NDI. So you'll plug in their NDI cameras, their PTZ cameras, into this mixer board, and not only will it allow you to do basic mixing on a feel of a traditional mixer board, you'll also get PTZ camera controls built into it as well. Very cool product. We saw it at NAB. We've been talking to the folks at Panasonic. We hope to be able to sell that to you in the near future as well when it starts shipping. I believe the PTZ cameras are shipping now from Panasonic. The control surface, I think, is early 2018. All right, we work with the folks at Streaming Media, and we work with them to put together some tutorials, and they put together a tutorial with us on a workflow on doing live sports production with a TriCaster TC1 and PTZ cameras. I believe they use the PTZ Optics cameras actually in it, but let's roll a little bit of that video now to show you just how it's done, and Paul, take it away.
At the 2017 NAB show, NewTek introduced the 4K 60p TriCaster TC1 with NDI support. NDI is NewTek's open source network device interface protocol, and PTZ Optics cameras support it. What this means is that you can easily connect their cameras to the TC1 with just an Ethernet cable for control and signal. I took the TC1 and some PTZ Optics cameras to a local high school football practice to test out a setup. With a power over Ethernet switch, I could run these cameras with just one cable. The fast pace of sports requires high frame rates for smooth motion. I've used NDI to set the camera frame rates to 59.94 and the shutter speeds to 1/120th. Features like this allow sports producers to do more with less, with smaller teams, eliminating the need for so many camera operators. While the TC1 has built-in PTZ control for these cameras, it's always nice to have a physical controller too. That's why I took along the PTZ Optics IP controller. Once connected to my network, the IP joystick will automatically detect all PTZ Optics cameras on the same network. So the setup is easy, and I don't need every camera physically connected to the joystick. This is ideal for remotely located cameras on the same network, but installed perhaps on the other side of the stadium. Each camera is set to a specific channel, which allows me to control them all from a single interface. Preset positions can be recalled instantly from the button pad, or you can use the intuitive joystick to pan, tilt, and zoom any camera. You can hardwire each PTZ Optics camera with an uncompressed 3G SDI signal connected directly into the TriCaster TC1, or choose to add PTZ Optics cameras over your gigabit network with NewTek's industry-leading NDI IP video protocol. The choice is yours.
All right, we're back. That video and the complete tutorial is available on the Videoguys website, and you can also find it on the Streaming Media website. So now I also want to go into software. There's a whole suite of NDI software applications with more and more coming every month. Some of the ones that I really love that are available from NewTek is the NewTek Connect Pro. Connect Pro allows you to connect an external computer to your NDI network. So you can put a capture card in it from Blackmagic, AJA, Matrox, Bluefish, whoever, and that capture card can then be inside that computer, and that computer can then feed via NDI into your NDI mixer or switcher solution. It could be a TriCaster, it could be vMix, it could be Wirecast, or any of the others. They also have IsoCorder Pro. That lets you record all the streams from your various cameras. They have the Telestrator. If you're doing sports, we all know what John Madden invented decades ago. It's a telestrator. You can actually draw on the screen of your tablet or whatever you want to use and circle and draw the routes that the guys are doing on the field, which is real exciting. So those are there. There are demo versions available of those that you can download from the NewTek website, or go to a website that NewTek has set up in a partnership with a media company that's called NDI Central. Go to ndicentral.com. You can get the latest stories on NDI, as well as download demo versions of the NDI software. So next, what do we got? New Blue Effects Title Live Broadcast. if you want to add broadcast quality titling to your productions that are animated full motion titles, you can, and they can be dynamic titles. What do I mean by that? You can have the new Blue Titler Live running on a laptop or a PC somewhere on your network, and now someone could be live operating and typing in the new score, the new headline, the lower third, or whatever, and you can bring those lower thirds and those graphics into your production via NDI, but also NDI is a two-way control, so you can also control that computer that's got the NDI stuff on it from your TriCaster. So after it's set up, a single operator can reach out to the computer running New Blue Effects Titler and say, hey, give me these graphics, give me what I need. So here's a quick little video that kind of goes in, that Kane Peterson from NewTek did, that goes into how this works a little bit. So take it away.
I'm going to start the playback of my show opener. All the graphics you're going to see here are coming from my graphics system, in this case, New Blue Effects. So you can see there's my first full screen title, 2 Minute Tuesday. It then goes to a second full screen title, Episode 1, NDI Automation. It then does a transition to me, hello, and brings up a lower third coming from the New Blue Effects software. And after a few seconds, that goes away, and then it brings up a bug you see in the corner here as well. So all of that, other than the transition, everything else you saw happening there was actually being delivered from another computer over NDI into my system.
All right, we're back. Let's talk about how you can get NDI into your solution if you already have a NewTek TriCaster. Maybe you have a TriCaster 460 or an 8000 or even an old or a TriCaster Mini or a 410, and you want to get NDI. How do you get NDI? You get TriCaster Advanced Edition. Advanced Edition, we've done a bunch of shows on it. It gets you a lot more than NDI. It unlocks a whole bunch of additional features for your TriCaster. But if you want to get on NDI and you've got a TriCaster, Advanced Edition for $19.95 is a great way to go. However, if you've got an older TriCaster, what you may want to do is trade up to the TC1. The TC1 is the newest TriCaster that is optimized and designed from the ground up for NDI workflows. And right now we're offering a trade up on a ton of older TriCasters. And we've done a video on this. We've done top 10 reasons. But basically, if you've got an old TriCaster going back to the Duo, TriCaster 300, or a more recent one, 450, 455, 460, you can trade up to a TC1 with control surface, get $5,000 off, bringing the price to $14,995. All right. Before I get into my Videoguys wish list, I want to talk about the NDI future. The NDI future is so great, I got to wear shades. A little bit of stick for you. All right, Courtney loves the stick. What can I tell you? And now I can't read my slides, so I have to take the sunglasses off, so I apologize for that. But NDI has taken off massively. It is everywhere. If you're doing live production and mixing, whether you're using a TriCaster, vMix, Wirecast, NDI has got to be on your radar screen. We've talked about some of the products that you've seen already that we went over on this, but I didn't think I could end this webinar without going into some of the things that I've heard you, our customers, talk about, but also that I dreamed about, the things that I call my NDI wish list. So I want to go over some of the stuff that we'd love to see. I want to see NDI audio mixers and NDI microphones. One of the things that's the most important thing in a live production is to have really good quality audio. I would love to have a mixer like a little Mackie board or a Roland board or somebody's boards that actually spoke to NDI so that you can bring all your audio in and then have the audio go into your TriCaster via NDI. Also, why not have NDI microphones? If I've got a network jack or I've got Wi-Fi, why can't I just bring the audio directly in via that rather than a mixing board if maybe I just want to use a single mic? One of the things that I've gotten a lot of requests for, especially in the holiday season, is apparently a lot of you guys have camcorders like the Sony camcorder we're using that have 4K options and you're ready to go to the 4K, but the 4K output from those devices are HDMI only. So what would I like to see? I'd like to see one of these guys, be it NewTek, BirdDog, or someone else, come out with a 4K IP HDMI to NDI on-camera encoder, which would be really cool. Or even better, and I skipped it, but let's go back to it, I'd like to see a 4K IP camera with NDI output to begin with. You know, JVC, the professional line, has an IP camera in it. I'd love to see that with NDI. Or if the folks at Panasonic are making PTZ cameras, why can't Panasonic or Sony or Canon come out with their own cameras that directly go NDI? It doesn't have to be Wi-Fi, it can be wired. But if all they have to do is put a network jack on the camcorder and they don't have to put SDI or HDMI outputs, maybe they can save a little money, or maybe it opens up the world. So I'd love to see 4K camcorders with direct network jacks in it to go straight into NDI. I'd like to see 4K NDI encoders for those of us with 4K camcorders that have 4K HDMI output but do not output on them. The other thing that I'd like to see is 4K NDI playout. You know, we sell a lot of these products, a lot of our video mixing products into churches, worship, houses of worship. Well, usually there's screens all over the church. Wouldn't it be cool if those screens could simply plug into any Ethernet jack in the building, and now I could send my video program via NDI through those screens? Even better, because I would have NDI and each screen could be addressed individually. I could put the hymns and the lyrics on one screen, whereas another screen should still have a close-up of the pastor. Another screen could have the crowd. It could be a truly more, to get the event more evolved, where we could really start taking up that production quality for those of the people in the live production to get a much better experience. And I think NDI can open that up. And also, I think if we see a little device like that, and I'm looking for a widget, a box, you know, even smaller than this, it just would, you know, plug into the outlet. And NDI would plug into an Ethernet jack, and it would have HDMI outputs to power a 4K screen. We all have 4K televisions. They're everywhere. It would be great if we could drive them straight from a TriCaster or a live view, whatever we were running with, directly to NDI to the screen. I loved when NewTek last year, a year ago, announced that they had the plug-in for Adobe Premiere, which meant if I had an Adobe Premiere timeline, I could play directly from the timeline out of my network into my TriCaster through NDI. I think that's an amazing feature. I think Avid's in a lot of professional spaces and a lot of newsrooms as well, and I'd love to see Avid add the ability to play directly from the Media Composer timeline right into an NDI switching, because now what that means is you don't have to render your production. You can create your production. If it plays on your timeline, you can play it straight out. That for news gathering and for people who have to turn around stuff real quick, that to me would be really great. So I'm calling on Avid, work with the folks over at NewTek. Let's make NDI happen. And while you're at it, why not even get some optimizations for your Nexus Pro and Nexus series so that you could be a more NDI compatible shared storage solution. I'm sure you could do that also. What else do I want to see? I'd love to see a low-cost NDI switcher or mixer. You know, we love the TriCasters, we love Wirecast gear, and the new Panasonic mixer that's coming out is going to be pretty expensive. I'd love to see something in the ballpark of, you know, $3,000, maybe $4,000 that give me basic NDI switching via the network, where they would work with NDI PTZ cameras, NDI Spark type stuff, where I could put together a package for you guys for, say, $5,000 that was an inexpensive mixer. It could be mixer software, mixer hardware, I'm not sure what it is, plus maybe a Spark and maybe a PTZ camera, and get in there for, you know, around $5,000 with a complete solution. That would be pretty incredible, you know. And then the last thing that, you know, I'm a big fan, and we've been following VR 360 video. We've done some previous webinars on the Samsung 360 round. We're real excited about VR and the impact it's going to have. So it's only natural that I want to see some VR workflows coming in through NewTek and through NDI as well. So my NDI wish list, we're going to do a future dedicated webinar on our NDI wish list, especially if some of this stuff starts shipping, but I wanted to go into that as a part of this webinar. So folks, that's our NDI webinar for today. Remember, we have live people here at Videoguys. Call us at 800-323-2325, and we'll help you put together a complete NDI workflow solution that could be a TriCaster or a Wirecast gear, plus a PTZ cameras, plus some Sparks, plus some Bird Dogs. We'll put you, plus the software, maybe Connect Pro, Tyler Pro. Give us a call. We'll give you the right gear that all works together. We'll help you understand how it works. And we've got live people here. So although you order online from our website, we've got live people here. You can talk to Britt. You can talk to Eddie. You can talk to Courtney. You can talk to me or Jim. We'll be happy to work with you to explain how these products work, how you can use them together, how you can grow into it so you don't have to get everything at once. We're here to help you work with that, and we can work with you if you're a school or a government organization. You want to purchase by PO, we can accept your purchase order as well. So please give us a call. I'll say it again, 800-323-2325. We've got live people here who want to teach you how to live stream using NDI. All right, that's going to conclude this week's program. We thank you for joining us. Remember, every Tuesday at 2 p.m., you can see us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Next week, PTC Optics with Paul Richards. This is Gary from Videoguys.com. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.